Hey, Influence here, and have this device, Galaxy Z Fold 6. I take back what I said about it being the same exact device as last year. So let's get into it.
Transformers reviews, tech in the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
If you're new, I do collection stuff. I do action figures, mostly Transformers reviews, and also do some tech reviews. So think about subscribing. I might have something you like, I might not, I don't know. But let's get into the Z Fold 6. I'm also going to continue to compare it to the 5, which I think is a much better device than the 5. We'll put it out there like that. So how I do things with my reviews are strictly Layman's reviews. That's why the title is Layman's reviews, meaning I don't go through all the technical stuff. There's a million other YouTubers that do that. I don't do that because a lot of people don't even care about that stuff. They just want to know the functionality, how the device works, and that type of stuff. So that's what I like to get into. So first, let me say the design of this is subtly different, but the differences make a big difference. Like, it's really flush, super flush. Like, you can't tell really by looking like this, but the flushness of the device compared to the 5 and all the other before it is crazy. Like, it really makes a big difference. The squareness of it makes a giant difference. It is squared off, and the screen is squared off as well, more squared in. I got my vacuum up app up. I'm actually vacuuming upstairs, my robot vacuum. And the bezels are smaller, so it makes it look like it is bigger, the screen, just by a tad bit. It's like 3 millimeters, I think. I know I said I wasn't gonna get technical, but some stuff I'll just quote. But I think it's 3 millimeters. I think that's what they said, bigger because of the bezels. But it feels a whole lot better. It's lighter. It feels lighter anyway. And that brings me to having a scale here. So if we can show what's going on with this. Oh, here's the scale right now. So I got it on 0 grams. So this is the 5. And it's around 259.9 grams, 260. And that's that. Whether this is right, this scale is right or not, it's still right. Like, you can compare the two. Like, it might not be right on point to what it really weighs, but you can compare the two. So, and this is 242.3 grams. So say 240, well, we can round down, 242. So you got 242 and 259, I think. Let me see. 259, we can round up to 260. So you see that's a pretty big difference, and you can feel that right away. I thought I was tripping between the two when I took this out the package. It feels a lot lighter though. It's a lot easier to hold because of the squareness. So I really like it. Let's get on to battery life. I know a lot of people are concerned with battery life. The caveat of this is a foldable device. What uses the most battery in phones are the screens. So with this being a foldable device, you have a giant screen that if on all the time, it's not going to ever get as long a battery life as a regular slate phone. But it's close. It's really close. So I'll put some stuff up here, or maybe up here. I don't know, but I'll talk about it. I did a test all day, and it was 86% when I took it off the charger, and I didn't charge it all the way up, so you can make the judge. And it was about 15 to 12%. I can't exactly remember, but it was around there when I stopped this test. And I got 5 hours and 18 minutes. Now that may not seem like a long time, but that's 5 hours and 18 minutes of extremely heavy usage. I was listening to music. I was listening to videos. I edited a 2-hour video on my phone. I do edit videos a lot on my phone. I use DaVinci Resolve and my phone. I go in between. Sometimes I'll do a preliminary edit in DaVinci, and then I switch it over to my phone to do the final edit. So I edited, but I edited a full 2-hour video on my phone. So the screen was on almost that whole 2 hours, and it was the big screen. Also have on the always on display, which now shows your lock screen as well, but it's really dim. But still, I can imagine that uses a lot more battery. I have vibration on fully. I have the screen on full brightness. So all of that, why I was doing everything that I was doing, I was on social media throughout the day. I was, like I said, I was editing a 2-hour video. So that was like 2 hours of that 5 hours, 5 and some change, when I had to plug my phone in. What else was I doing? Yeah, that was about it. Social media. I watched some YouTube videos after. I was on other social media, Instagram, all of that. And I have no optimization on. So there's a number of ways that you can mitigate your battery and have it last a really, really long time. They have a lot of settings. I'm not going to get into those here. Most people with Galaxies know the settings that you have for your batteries. So that fingerprint sensor, really, really fast. You can have it set. Also had that on all the time. So I took it off now, because if you have it on all the time, you can touch the fingerprint sensor and it'll just come on and unlock your phone. But a lot of times when you put it in your pocket, when you're doing different stuff, you'll touch it and you'll feel it vibrate. It might not register. A lot of times it does, because the fingerprint sensor is great. So it registers like constantly when you touch that thing. So I turned it off now because I just don't like it. I don't like keep registering. Yeah, so that's a feature that I don't really care for. Cameras are pretty much the same. They do have a lot of AI features now that are in this device, and it helps with some of the stuff. Like, I love circle to search. I mean, even the older devices have that now. They're starting to roll it out, the older Galaxy devices. I don't know what else it's on, but I think that's a Google feature, actually, because you got to hold the bottom and it's like Google search comes up. So you have that. All the other AI features, like cleaning up pictures and stuff, all that is good. But again, that's been sent to other phones as well, older model phones. I think the hinge is great, and I think they refined the hinge because it feels a lot better. It's easier to get open, but once you open it, you can tell here it's easy to open up and you're getting it open, but once you get to like here, it starts to get stronger and stronger. I think they understand that nobody's gonna have their phone like this, even though it's still strong to stay open like that, but it's easier to close. Nobody's gonna have their phone like that. So I think they redesigned it to where once you start to open it, where you're gonna have it, like it gets stiffer. Like this, people may watch because you can watch with the dual screen, especially YouTube. I like doing that, and it's just strong going up. The screen wise is way better feeling. The notch, what am I talking about? The crease in the middle, because there is a crease. This is just plastic, but it feels more metal. This screen, it feels more metal to me. It's just a better feeling screen than the 5 and the 4. I had the 4 too, so it's just a better screen. All in all, I can say, and I think the pictures look better, but they're still on par to the 5, I should say. They're probably not as good as the flagship candy bar slate phone. I don't know what they're calling it these days, but the regular phone that doesn't fold, it's those flagship phones will probably have better cameras in all of the models, like in companies probably, but the cameras aren't terrible by any means. I actually think they're better than the 5 as far as the way they look, and that's probably some software adjustments that they've done, and that's not scientific. That's just my opinion. I haven't done a like picture test or anything, because I don't use this. I take pictures with it, but I don't use it as much to take pictures. And what else is there to say? I can say if you have this phone, you could definitely feel a difference if you upgrade to the 6. So if you have the 5 and you want to upgrade to the 6, the internals, the chip, all that stuff is not going to be that much different. It's a little faster to me, but that's it. It's not crazy. But if you are just getting into foldables, you benefited from having 5 other devices in their design team, because this is the best device, which it should be. But this is the best device the best foldable that I've used. Now, the negatives and stuff that I wish would have changed with this model, which I'm hoping in the next maybe year or maybe a couple years. I'm hoping next year they'll make it bigger. I want the front screen, even though the front screen bezels are bigger as well, so it does look a little bigger. I didn't really talk about that. This front screen is, I've gotten used to the front screen, how small it is. Some stuff that you open doesn't open correctly because of the aspect ratio of it. But I can say I've gotten really used to just quick texting with the front screen and checking my email and stuff like that. Stuff's bunched up to me. I'd rather use the inner screen all day. So that's what I mostly use. But this front screen is a little bit more usable. I can say that. And the front camera looks a little better to me. There's a little more features as well, but I don't know. I don't know if it's that much of a difference. Let me put it that way. But where I was going with this is, in conclusion to my layman's just review of this, I can say if you don't have any foldable phone and you're trying to come to a foldable, you've lucked out if you get this, because this is the best designed Galaxy foldable out of the last 6 iterations, and that should be it's the newest one. But I'm just reassuring you that this is what you want. It's a little more expensive than the rest of them. I'm sure you can get a deal on the rest of them, but the 5, I'm glad I got this now. It was a great deal to trade in my 5 for this. I mean, it's not a great deal. I might be brainwashed, because I mean, a great deal would be $100 more, whatever the difference is, because this is still a usable, great device. But I did get a pretty good deal with this. It's a deal that I can live with. So that's why I say that. If you're not brand new, if you got this device, is it worth upgrade? It's worth it to me. Like I already said, it is worth the upgrade to me. I just feel like this phone is lighter and more usable and just a better design than this phone. However, I can understand not wanting to upgrade, and you'll probably be fine with this. The 5, Z Fold 5, if you do not upgrade. I was using it earlier today, the 5, and I was like, oh, that's cool. It's still usable. It still feels like the same phone. But just the subtle differences, just the subtle things. And also, you can't use, if you're upgrading, can't use your cases. I already tried it. I know it was different. I know they always do that. I think they do that on purpose. It's more square. So I kind of knew you couldn't use the cases anyway. I just tried it. I tried it. All right. I think that's it. I don't want to ramble too much. Like I said, I don't go into tech detail with these type of reviews. But I can say this phone is a great addition. And I got the blue, which is a cool color. They got the carbon fiber. I think that was a Samsung exclusive. I wish I would have got that kind of. I don't put cases on my phone. Not a lot. I do have a case that I'm going to try out, but most of the time I end up taking them off. I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm usually all right without a case. I don't ever have a case on my phone, 9 out of 10. If I do, like I said, I use it for a couple weeks and then I just end up getting tired of it because I hate the dirt and stuff that gets in it, and you can't really clean right next to the edges and stuff. I just don't like cases. All right, so thanks for watching this. If you have watched this entire video, if not, I understand, and I will get up with you in the next one. Hopefully, please subscribe if you're new here. And even if you're not new here, there's not a lot of subscribers that are rewatchers of the channel. Not saying, I don't know what the percentage is, but there's a lot of views that come from non-subscribers. So think about subscribing. It's free. It helps me with my numbers, and it's free for you again. And you might find some content that you like. All right. So thanks.
You know, life ain't no, life ain't no, life ain't no. As long as you alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.